What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Valkyrie podcast. I'm your host, Angela Battle, and today we have another special guest. Everyone, please welcome in Alex, or otherwise known as Toxic Demon. Welcome in, Alex. How are you?
Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm feeling very welcomed right now. Feeling nice and warm.
So for those of you that may not know, Alex is actually our newly promoted, by the way, a Valkyrie social media manager. And so you may have seen kind of an uptick on Twitter right now. We can kind of tell the voice has changed on social media, but for a good thing. We've seen a lot of funny stuff come out just today alone. So
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. Like, I feel like I have a lot more comfort messing around on our Twitter feed versus my own. I'm like, all right, I know the goal, so let's do this. I'm gonna have some fun.
Gotcha. And just real quick before we head on into the rest of the episode, we always would be remiss if we didn't notice and talk about our partners over at Gamer Subs. Head on over to gamersubs.gg, pick yourself up a waifu cup just like this one if you like it. I figured you'd like this one. I like the red and the pink myself, honestly.
It's also the Boombas.
If that, I didn't want to be honest. Too rude, but we are shit posters, right? Yeah, if you like booba, it's there, right? Or head you over and get you some GG formula as well. They have the regular formula. They also have caffeine free, just in case you are caffeine sensitive and don't want any caffeine in your drink as well. They do have those options. Head on over to gamersubs.gg, get yourself whatever you want. Make sure you use code Valkyrie in the checkout so you can get 10% off your entire order. As well as, Alex, by the way, if you'd like to pick up some merch like this nice little hat, or you can't get this jersey because it's a limited edition, but no. If you want to get our newest jersey that has dropped, head on over to the website valkyriellc.org, head to the shop, and then you guys can pick up some merch. Use code Valkyrie there so you guys can get 10% off your order as well. But Alex, there is one thing I would like to change really quickly, and I wanted to make sure that I was recording before I did it, just so we could get your reaction.
Oh God, no. I know what you're doing. Yeah, no, of course. What the freaking you're in the Stanley Cup games, but all right, yeah, of course, making sure he puts it on.
Now, for those of you that might be a little confused, Alex and I we're friends outside of work, and we play games together. But for those of you that may not know, this is the Carolina Hurricanes, who I am a diehard supporter. Alex, what team do you pull for?
Florida Panthers, baby, and we're playing the Stanley Cup. We lost game one, but it's just game one, so praying.
Yeah,
I'm praying.
What was the final score of that game?
Shut up! I don't want to talk about it. All right, I don't want to talk about it. One of the hits though was way too lucky. Like that puck hitting the freaking stick perfectly. I was like, yo, that was unlucky.
Yeah.
So yeah.
As much as I am still hurting and mourning over the loss, it was a great series, and each game was super close. It wasn't like a 5-1 or anything like. Oh, that score might be a little hurtful. Sorry. Especially that game one, right? That what was
dude,
it?
The
like 5 overtimes? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Dude, Tricky and I were staying up and we were like, yeah, we gotta go to bed. Nope. Just watching it. So yeah.
Yeah. I had work the next morning and I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning just to make sure I'm there on time. And every overtime I'd be like, oh, it's only 20 minutes. I'll be fine, right? Someone's gonna score. And then another one happened, and another one happened. Then it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go to work. Oh no,
dude, long nights, because there was multiple games with overtimes. But yeah, it was definitely a battle that we beat, but whatever.
This is true. Congratulations to the Florida Panthers. By the time this airs, it'll probably be game 4 or 5 if needed, if you guys can win one. But no. No,
tonight's the next one, man. So fingers crossed.
So I understand it that you actually went to game 1, not in Vegas, but you were at the Florida stadium. Is that correct?
Yeah. I did the watch party with my boyfriend. It was a lot of fun. It was packed and everything. What a great time. I also had a couple of drinks, so I was feeling good too. But yeah, I ended up on the Jumbotron a couple of times too.
How was that? I've never been on. I can only imagine what that would feel like.
Dude, it was so fun. And then some guy came up to me. He's like, dude, you've been on there 3 times. 3? And he's like, yeah, there was another time that you were on there and you didn't notice. I was like, no way. So yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun.
The Canes, they do like Caniac Smile kind of thing, like hashtag before the game. Tricky and I have been to probably like 10 games now together, and every time we do it, we've never made it once.
Aw.
So like
One day.
Hurricanes, if by some godly reason you see this, like put us on the Tron, man. We love you guys. No. But seriously,
they're really cute, guys. Like they do deserve to be on the Tron, honestly.
did you see the graphics battle between Florida and that? I mean, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was really good. I don't know who those graphics guys are, but they should get a raise or something because they're like killing it out there.
So I actually I dove down into Twitter to like look at both graphics artists and just to see kind of their previous work, and it was like both of them do amazing work, but like this really put them like on their A game. So like
that's awesome.
I know it lit up, like most people were interested in the graphics than they were the game.
Yeah, I mean, even the one that they came out with one like of the Panther in Vegas, and I was like, that looks really dope. I'm not gonna lie. Like on the strip, I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so good luck to Florida in the Stanley Cup Finals. I guess I'll root for them since they beat us, right? But no, let's so obviously this is going to be your first appearance on the podcast, still being a new staff member as well. So just to kind of introduce you to some things that we do around here, we ask a bunch of questions, we get to know you, because this gives the community a chance to really learn more about the org, learn about the people and the foundations of the org as well, and kind of what makes us tick. So this is a great spotlight. Obviously, with you being the new hire, you've gotten to be around the staff and everything like that. So kind of explain your background, like on esports. Like, is this your first gig with esports, or have you been around esports before? Yeah, let's kind of start there, and then we'll kind of head down a path.
This is actually this is actually my third thing with esports, because technically way back in the day, and I mean like early 2000s, before the 2010s. Yes, people, I'm old. I used to play Halo 3 online, and I was a part of a clan, and we were trying to hit the esports like sighting and everything. I was a little young though, so I was like the recruit and whatever, but cause I was like 13. But like, yeah, they were called HDF, hump that face. Yes, we were very big on the
wow.
Yeah, we were big on the teabagging. But my second one, which was like more recent, in 2020, I met Rachel, which is our CM, if you guys don't know. And she and I were basically running our own org called Res City. It didn't obviously kick off as great. We kind of just decided to retire it. And now the channel is just more like friends, like kind of hang out and whatever. Like it's still kind of active. And we decided to kind of move into Valkyrie because you guys are like way more like, you know, in there and everything. And like, we love you guys. And I really love the change. And we even told people from our org to be like, hey, like we're done here, but we're here if you guys want to come over. And a lot of them did come over, which is awesome. So it's really great. Like it's an interesting transition, and like although it was kind of sad, but like it's bittersweet because we ended up somewhere sweet. So
yeah, it's one of those things, like you're sad to see it quote unquote end, but you're happy to have had the memories and the chance to
for
do it,
sure,
right? Yeah.
Exactly. And the experience, like I learned a lot of things of what not to do and what to bring to this table, which is great, you know. So yeah
and obviously, you know, that community that you guys have brought over has been really cool and really awesome as well. The people that have become, again, like foundation members of the org, like OGs that are really, really, really cool people and supporters that show up to every game night that they can and participate in events and stuff like that. It's been a really, really, really awesome experience. So obviously you were saying, you know, started with Halo 3 and everything like that. Besides esports, as far as like gaming itself, and this is one of my favorite questions to ask, what got you into gaming? What was your like first experience with games? And then we'll expound there.
All right, so my dad got me into video games, and it started with his Sega Genesis, Sonic. My sister and I would play it all the time. I was obsessed. And then he got us like our first Xbox, which I was playing Brute Force, which is a very like low-key FPS game that not a lot of people know about, but it was fun. And then I got into Halo Hardcore, and it just kept going and going and going. And like to the point that like what got me to the online game was actually Halo 3 and Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare, like back in the day, like the prime days of COD, man. Like Xbox 360 prime days, guys. Like, oof. so good. But yeah, so like basically I was a 360 kid most of my like life, like big time 360, occasionally PlayStation here and there. Like when Last of Us came out, I was like, oh my God, need to play it. And stuff like that. And then like I got into like later like Uncharted and whatever. And then like in my 20s, I got into Nintendo because the only Nintendo I played before that was Pokemon. I was obsessed with Pokemon as a child. Like who wasn't? I had like the Pokédex, like 1995 Pokédex, which is still here in my room, and like I play Pokemon Yellow all the time. But like online wise, yeah, it was Halo, Call of Duty. The shooters got me like big time, and then I started streaming after I graduated college. Like actually high school. After I graduated high school, I started. So 2015, 2016, I started streaming.
I did not know it was that
I just
early.
kept it up. Yeah, it's been like a long time actually. Time flies honestly, but it's funny because I started on my Xbox One. Like I had the Kinect and everything, and I was just playing Halo Master Chief Collection, just playing that over and over again. And then eventually I finally got my first PC and I played Quake Champions. And that's what got me on kind of more of the map of the whole Twitch scene. Like, mind you, I'm not on the map, but like I'm a little, like it just got me a little bit of a pin. I was like, okay, cool. Like it was picking up a little bit. And then Valorant came out and the rest is history. Now I've just been like full on Valorant player.
And now all of our money is gone thanks to Valorant and
thank you, Riot.
No,
thank you.
Screw you, Ryan.
I love you guys.
I have uninstalled that game twice now.
You don't have yet to uninstall that game, dude.
It's just it gets you in a mental place where you're just like, I've had enough. I'm uninstalling this. I'm never playing again. And within 48 hours, I've reinstalled it. So.
Yeah, I've definitely taken breaks, but I've never uninstalled it. Like not purposely.
Like a cheap whore. I just keep coming back. No. And speaking of skins, the night market's like right around the corner. That's next week, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not excited because I need to save money, dude. And I'm like, knowing Riot, knowing my luck, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great lineup when I need to save money. And I'm like, I hate you guys.
How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet that the entertainment bundle that just came out, some of those pieces will be in there, and it's gonna piss people like you off because
it's gonna hell yeah, because I spent the money.
Yep.
I bought it right when it came out, day of. I spent the money. I was like, and there's my money. Here, just take it. Fuck, just I couldn't even unlock all of it.
Yeah, and that's like the most expensive bundle I think I've ever seen as well. Like you couldn't pay for it on one go. You had to get like 2 purchases before you were able to buy it. That was insane to me. But I honestly feel like it was worth it because that bundle is probably the best set they've ever brought out.
I agree. Like the one before that, I would say is maybe like the dragon one was the first one that made my jaw drop. This one really made my jaw drop because it was just so well done, and it definitely hit the whole nostalgia feel. Like if you liked like old school arcade games like and stuff like that, like that definitely hit the heart. Like I was like, oh God. So yeah.
Which variant are you more a fan of? The DDR, the Street Fighter? What's the other one?
The raccoon.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I really do like the Rocket Raccoon only because I like seeing the character just full on come out. But the DDR is a good second best because seeing your enemy like dance into like death is like the coolest thing ever.
I will say I am very happy that I waited and didn't buy it just because the Mage Punk bundle came out, the new one. Oh
yeah,
and that one
does look sick.
Is amazing. Like for the longest, I was like, all I want is a Karambit. That's all I want. And finally, the Reaver Karambit came out.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm done buying knives because I'm a knife whore. Like that's all I really care about. And because I've got Prosperity and Demise, I've got the Elder Flame, I've got probably about 8 or 9 different knives, and I'm an idiot for it each time. But then the butterfly, and I was like, ooh, I really would like a butterfly.
It's so nice, dude. Yeah. I have all of the champion knives, and the butterfly knife one was my favorite one for the Phantom. And people think I'm crazy for buying those those champion skins, but bro, worth it. Like those never come up on the night market. So
I didn't like the Phantom Blade. That the most recent champion blade. I didn't like it. I felt like they actually
last one.
Yeah. I felt like they kind of cheaped out on it a little bit.
They did, but like I liked how it looked glowing. Like when it was on my actual character, because I bought it too, and then when it was on there, I was like, actually, it's pretty cool. It's simple, and like they definitely like like you said, cheaped out compared to the other ones, but it wasn't bad. Like for sure, the Phantom and the Vandal, like the first skins those were the first champion skins were it, bro. Those were nice
and everything.
Yes, dude. Yeah, those were.
I just
nice.
Unless you're like a constant MVP, right? You don't get the full experience of the knife, and I feel like that, like again, that kind of takes away from it a little bit. But it also, I guess, it does give you that earning factor. In order to be able to see it at its full potential, you got to perform. So I get it. It's just not for me being a Sentinel / initiator main. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, as a duelist, that's perfect for me because I gotta be in there and just.
Exactly. We work as a tag team, right? I flash and stun, you go in and kill.
Exactly. I do the stupid moves.
But yeah, Valorant's been fun. It's the very first tactical shooter I've ever played.
Same too, unless you count Overwatch. I don't know if that counts as tactical shooter. I played it very casually, so I don't.
I got you. Well, so if we're going that way, then I started with Paladins, which is like the Overwatch enemy, pretty much. Like, everyone says it's an Overwatch clone, even though it's I don't know, man. It looks like it came before Overwatch, but that's just you know.
That's just your opinion.
That's just my opinion. High res, get it together. No. But like you have your major one in Counter-Strike, obviously, right? That's everyone knows Counter-Strike. But then Valorant came out, and we got to see a bunch of people start to make the switch. A lot of old Counter-Strike pros decide to kind of revive their love for the game and their competitive fire, and then switch to Valorant and try to learn that game and be good and compete in that. But now with the announcement of CS2, we're kind of seeing a re-exodus. Like everybody is starting to move back.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean, I did notice that some like streamers that didn't even start on CS, but they started in Valorant. They switched to like CS and stuff. Like I mean, people have asked me if I would do it, if I would play it. I'm like, I don't know, man.
So here's what I will say with CS compared to Valorant is like obviously the skins aren't as vibrant and interactive. You know, there are no finishers and stuff like that. But the gameplay, like the accuracy and everything like that, feels better to me.
Ooh.
As far as like once you memorize the spray pattern, I feel like you can be a whole lot more accurate in Counter-Strike than you can Valorant. I feel like there's still that like bit of randomness when it comes to Valorant. It's almost like Bloom. I know it's not, but
I do agree though. Like the accuracy makes it a little too crazy. Like it's not even accurate.
Well, so I mean that new update that's going to be coming out as well. That's going to like greatly nerf running and gunning, because we've seen people get to like Immortal and Radiant on strictly running and gunning. I know there's a guy on TikTok, I can't remember his name, but that's all he does.
Jesus.
He buys a Spectre, and like he's a Phoenix main, so he just flashes, turns the corner, and just sprays and runs. Like never stops. It's insane.
Is it just me, or did the Spectre all of a sudden became good? Because before, when the game started, I don't remember the Spectre being that good. And then out of nowhere, there was an update, and I'm running around, and next thing you know, I'm getting popped all the time by a Spectre. And I'm like, yo, stop. Where is this coming from?
Yeah, 100%. So during beta, the Stinger, I really loved the Stinger for like eco rounds because it used to shred.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, actually, over this most recent buff, it's starting to become kind of a more reliable option because you can use the ADS and you get the 3-round burst and stuff like that. So
that's
now
what I meant. Yeah.
Even the Stinger is starting to make a kind of a return as well.
Yeah, it is, man. Like, and it's kind of crazy. I was watching clips like from beta, and it's like it is crazy how much it's like changed. Like, damn.
Yeah, between the agents, between the colors as well, it's not as like dark as it used to be.
Just the UI itself, like how, like even the menu, like they've changed so much. The spray, bro. Now we can choose our sprays. Like that's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not a fan. I had everything set to where I liked it. You know, the spray before the half or before the round, the spray during the round, the spray after the round. And now, like I can't. I've gotten so not methodical. What's it? Just habit that like I always do the wrong spray now because it's set wrong on my wheel.
Yeah, I'm trying to get used to it too. I keep just clicking T, thinking that mid round it's gonna show the one that I picked and whatever. But yeah, it's just like getting used to it. If they had started like that, then for sure, like Overwatch. But yeah.
And then you could have built a habit. You know, it's just a matter of time if I like actually focus on it, but I'm too busy either getting killed or blinding and taking people's retinas. But so obviously Valorant's been like a huge part of your stream and everything. By the way, go ahead and let's get a plug to the Twitch so that people will know where to find you.
You gotta go to twitch.tv/toxicdemon. Just replace the letters with numbers, the easy ones. So the 0 and the 1s are the O's and the I's. So yeah.
I was about to say, what would T be? That would be a 4. No.
Nah, that's T0X1CD3M0N. Toxic Demon.
Zach, I'm sure we'll put it like what?
Yeah, we'll put like a nice little like graphic right there. Like right there.
more than likely Joey's gonna put it in the description, but anyway. So what is your normal stream schedule as well? Just because we like to boost everyone's viewership if we can.
I am on weeknights. Every weeknight you guys can find me like around like 8-9:30, and I'm just like on there until I am tired. So it's usually until like midnight, 1 o'clock.
Gotcha. And obviously Valorant is the main game. Do you play anything?
Valorant's the main game. Sometimes I'll play like some other shooters. So, like I like Siege. I don't know why I like Siege. I do. And then like occasionally you'll see me jump into either Fortnite or Call of Duty. Super rare, but I'll do it. And like with Call of Duty though, like I don't do it often because that game really pisses me off. But yeah, like it's mostly shooters. Like, and occasionally I'll go back to Quake because I sometimes miss it.
Especially speaking of COD, like especially with it being so like controller dominated right now, being a mouse and keyboard player, you're automatically at a disadvantage.
Yeah, and mind you, I have a controller, but like I'm so used to mouse and keyboard already that it's like, dude, it's so weird. Even playing like, for example, I think it was a Cyberpunk 2077. I even played that mouse and keyboard. People are like, why? I was like, bro, I can't with the shooting. Like, I just can't with it, dude. So I'm just doing mouse and keyboard, all right?
Yep. I played Fallen Order mouse and keyboard.
Really?
Yeah. I think I might try switching to controller for this most recent one. I can't remember what is it? Not Last Jedi. What's
the last one that just came out? Yeah. I can't remember the name.
Why can't I not remember? I'm gonna cheat real quick. Hold on. Don't be mad at me.
Do like nah, you should be mad. Like, you know how many games are out now compared to like maybe 20 years ago when we were younger and everything?
Survivor, that's what it is. That's right. Jedi Survivor. And I'm a Star Wars nerd as well. But like, I don't know, man. Some of the wow factor that I grew up with is like not there anymore. And I guess it's probably because I'm an adult and everything now. So
I feel like it's that, but maybe it's also because I think about this all the time, but I think it's also because like the publishers push developers to push these content so quickly that unfortunately like these games aren't like completely up to code or like what we were used to. Like when a game released back in the day, there were not bugs or anything. Like no, it was like perfect. It was ready. It was like, okay, it's ready to play. You're solid. The only bugs you'd get is probably on Skyrim or something like that, but that's literally the whole joke of Elder Scrolls and Bethesda. So yeah, but like now it's like everything's so pushed quickly because everyone's all about the money that it's like you have to hope that like when games come out, I wait until the next update. I'm like, let me wait for a couple updates to come out first before I start really playing it because this sucks, you know?
Yep. I actually saw a tweet the other day that made me laugh pretty loud, especially at work. It was a meme and it was like this guy was like pre-ordering a video game and the girl was like, why are you pre-ordering the video game? It's not like they're going to run out of a digital copy. And I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. You're on to something. Wait.
I miss that too. That whole waiting in line thing. Like the last time I did it was for the Switch, actually. I was actually waiting in line at GameStop to pick it up and everything. That was the last time I did it, but we don't really do that anymore.
Exactly. And I believe Jerry and I talked about kind of the midnight releases and stuff like that and how fun they used to be as well. So come on, GameStop, bring them back. Like for us, man, let's do something.
For real, man. They only really do it for Nintendo stuff because I worked at GameStop for a while and we had stopped slowly doing it for Xbox, PlayStation, you know, like stuff that people obviously buy for like instant digital. But Nintendo, there's still that crowd that likes to go there. So like for Pokemon, we actually had like a release and it was like, okay, and people showed up, you know?
Oh yeah. And I heard you talk about Yellow, my favorite, by the way. Is that your favorite? Yellow. Have you tried like Red, Blue, and Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow?
Oh, yeah. Like Yellow was the first one I ever played. Yeah, Yellow was my favorite too, actually, because that's the one I played the most. I actually still have it. and like it works perfectly and everything. And then like I played X and Y too. I liked it. It wasn't bad. Like, I don't know, yellow and like red. I even played red. Like those hit different. I don't know how to explain it. Like, and even the newer ones, like I hated like Sword and Shield, man. It was not that good.
I think, I don't know if it's the sounds, but like the sounds definitely kind of hit home and set your brain at ease. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Like if they'd change that at any moment, I think at that moment I'd be like, I don't know if I could play Pokemon again.
Yeah. Because like, and my theory is that like 9 times out of 10 when you were playing, it was like to distract yourself from like a car ride or something, like conversations, right? So your brain is already on autopilot, and when your brain hears that noise, it kind of reminds you of that feeling.
Yeah,
I feel like that's why we probably have like such a deep connection to like certain sounds like that.
I think it's also like what helps too is the fact that like our generation grew up with like the shows and everything, and like it was like, I believe, maybe I could be wrong, maybe there was something in the 80s, but for me at least, it's like the first thing I've seen that like it was a show and a video game and a card game and you could buy toys, and it was like what like now you have adults. Like I'm 27 and I still have a gang. I bought the Gengar Squishmallow. I bought it. I had to buy it. I buy the Pokemon Build-A-Bears because I'm like, dude, like it's Psyduck. I could put a t-shirt on Psyduck. Are you kidding me? Like my inner child is loving this.
Yeah, 100%. My brain kind of totally shut off there. Sorry about that. So kind of moving into the second half, because believe it or not, it's already been 25 minutes, which is insane to me, right? Just because we did have some topics that we did want to talk about.
Okay.
Obviously, and for those that may not know, if for the uneducated out there, no. But seriously, it is Pride Month this month. So we are doing kind of a feature on LGBTQIA plus. I think I got them. I know they just added one, and I think
they added more. Hold up, actually,
I just
it's
thought,
so funny because
I
they
want to make sure we
it.
include everyone because I know they just changed it.
LGBTQQIP2SA.
That's right. Because Rachel literally like was just talking about it.
Literally, yeah, because we were just talking about it. Yeah, because I was like, we need a social thing, like, because you know, my work brain was like, I need to do this like right now. Like we're not gonna be late. Like we're not gonna be that org that posts it by the end of the month. No, we're doing it right.
Yeah. And for those of you that, or for the community that may not know, you do belong to that community. So I'm
part of the bisexual. Got my flag.
We did want to bring somebody from that community on to kind of share their experiences and maybe help for those of us that maybe not have gone through some of the things that you've gone through, to kind of give us some of the experiences and the knowledge of stuff that you've gone through, especially one being a woman in esports. I know that's something that's so tough, you know, being
a great time
being engaged to a woman that's grown up in esports and hearing the things that she's had to deal with just from our short time together. Even though it's been 3 years, that still feels so short, but still. So, you know, as being a woman in esports and gaming, what are some of the biggest challenges that you've like encountered and had to have like overcome? And then how like mentally did you have to kind of like adapt to that as well?
So like just like esports, just video games in general, even in content creating, it's been like tough in the sense of no one takes me seriously. Like sometimes, well, not no one. Now I'm taking a lot seriously, but back then when I started this, a lot of people wouldn't take me serious. When I started playing Halo as a child and people instantly found out I was a girl, they would like, you know, I got the whole go back to the kitchen, blah, 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 whatever. But I also got like some really disgusting like messages on 360. Like 360 days was brutal. And like they would say things that they would do to my mom and like to me, like, and I'm a child reading this and you're just there like, man, I just wanted to play Call of Duty. So as I grew older, and obviously like the community has now expanded a lot more and there are a lot more female creators out there, which is awesome. You still get occasionally those people that are expecting other types of things from me, which is unfortunate in the sense of that I just don't create it. That's not the type of content I offer. Right. So like for people who do it, hey, power to you, that's great, but I just don't offer it. So it can be frustrating at times when you get like messages like, oh, do you send bears, or like, do you have an OnlyFans? I'm like, no, I have a fan house, but I post my dog, like literally my dog. So yeah, so it's those it's mostly like being taken seriously. I've even been asked like if like I've been boosted by boyfriends or if it's my brother's account. Like that was the number one question I would ask like back in the 360 days was this has to be your brother or your dad's account. And no, I've been to Toxic Demon since like Xbox 360 days. So it's like, no, this is my account. So no, like, so like that's the biggest thing is like being taken seriously. And then you have like, you know, creators or even esports players who unfortunately have been caught like cheating or having their significant other play for them. And then that kind of like sets the eyes on us. And it's like, oh, like, is that really her content, you know, like, and everything. And it's frustrating, but the number one way to get over is just kind of like one, remembering who you are as a creator. That's always what I do. Number one is like if anyone's talking crap on my stream or my TikTok or anything, like any nasty comments, haters are gonna hate. I literally remind myself like, hey, if you don't like my content, that's it's not for you. Whatever. And if you decide to post hate, keep it going because you're upping the algorithm. It's posting, it's putting it out there. You want to post hate comments? Hey, bro, go ahead. I've heard worse. Okay. So it's like at this point, like I've learned to kind of like just laugh at them because it's like. Right. Like what else can I do? It's like you're making yourself look kind of ridiculous. I'm just here having a good time. There are people who do like my stuff, and then there's good people who don't. And to those people, later, to those who want to come and have fun, hey yo, slide through.
Right. And I think with the digital age where there's more accountability now in the digital space, whereas before people could really get away with saying whatever they wanted because they can't be held accountable. But now, like I said, there's so many different ways to record somebody, the actions they've said, DM, screenshots, and stuff like that. That a lot of people are kind of just starting to realize that I'm going to be held accountable if I say something. Now, obviously, in a perfect world, that would have never entered their thought process in the first place. But unfortunately, we don't live in the perfect world, and there still is poison out there. And again, I feel like it's probably from just uneducated. This is gonna sound kind of bad the way it's gonna come off, but it's not. I'm not trying to say like dumb and stupid. Like uneducated, as in they just don't know better. You know what I'm saying? And they've been taught hatred and poison their entire life. Like that's all they know. And it's gonna take, unfortunately, like an experience, like a come to Jesus moment. Like, oh, it was me. I'm the asshole. Got it. Before they can kind of realize that what they were doing was wrong, and then they start to treat people better, and then that's how we kind of like stop the cycle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think my biggest thing too is that like I've noticed I won't defend myself. I'll just kind of laugh and like let them be stupid. And I'm like, all right. And like, mind you, I'm recording at all times, and even when I'm not streaming, I have stuff recording. So it's like I'm still getting clips. But when I hear other people being mean to like the sage that's there, and she's just being quiet and like just taking it, like that's when I'm like, okay, nah, bro. Like now you're gonna hear me say something, and then I'll start defending them. And like that's like it's so funny because I also do the whole defense, and like I feel like if there were more people who spoke up to help out that player that's like being torn down by the toxicity or whatever, because there are people who just listen, and it's like, dude, you guys don't be afraid to like back up your team, you know, like tell them, hey man, like you're being harsh, like chill, like it's not funny, whatever. Like you'll see how quick they'll shut down because they're like, oh man, like I'm not getting the attention I want, you know. So and
what they'll do is they'll reach out and like attack you and saying, oh, you know, using the S word that we can't say on Twitch, or stuff like that. Because I've got it multiple times defending Tricky when stuff like that. But the cool thing is like Tricky will be quick to defend herself so fast.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think what you were saying is true. Like once they don't expect somebody to like defend themselves. And then you get somebody as witty as Tricky saying like witty things back. Then they're like, oh, wait a minute. This isn't an easy target. Hold on. And then, like you said, they shut down. Then they resort to like saying like the word, like the things they think is going to hurt, you know, like.
Yeah. And it's usually the same thing over and over again. Like I've noticed like they pick the same exact thing. It's either on your weight, go back to the kitchen, or like you shouldn't be here. Video games are whatever. It's like, dude, like at that point when I hear that, I'm like, yeah, sure, dude. Sure. Like whatever you say. Like
and it's like a chihuahua, right? It's like that loud obnoxious barking, but you're just annoyed at that point. You're like, okay, just
if it gets too bad, I just mute them at that point. And then I'll even, just to piss them off, they'll be muted, but I'll still talk. But like, I bet you they're still going. And I'll be like, hey, bro, how's it going down? Like, if they have low KD, I'm like, how's it going down there? I can't hear you, but I know you can hear me. So I hope all is well.
Oh man, it is really kind of taking a step back and seeing the way that the industry is revolutionized and seeing the way it's grown.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good to see, like, from somebody that, like, an ally and a supporter, not one of the toxic, but seeing that in the space, seeing creators, like female creators, get into the spotlight and be shown for who they are and their content and how good it is, not just because they're
whatever.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And it's really good to see, like, strong role models like Sweet Tails, like that as well. And there's other ones out there, but she's just the first one that's come to my mind, just because she's been, like, the most prevalent that I've seen. Even that like Tricky likes as well.
Kaide, bro, like,
definitely
all
Kaide,
of these creators, Kaide, like Pokimane, like all these creators, Lily Pichu, like these big creators that basically opened the door for us to feel comfortable to explore this space and have fun in this space. Like, honestly, like, I always look up to them. Like, I've like been a fan of all of them. Like, I'm a huge Pokimane stan. Like, a lot of people are like, what? I'm like, dude, she opened the door. She opened the door. Like, that's amazing. Like, I love seeing her. And Lily Pichu's like, I adore her. Just like, so adorable. And just, I love that they are always authentically themselves. And that's the best part, is that, like, it kind of like reminds you, like, hey, bro, you don't have to do like the whole extra stuff if you don't want to. If you want to just be goofy and be fun, go ahead. Like look at our creator. It's not Bill Murray. She's hilarious. She's like, she doesn't care. She's just out there. She's herself. And that's what's beautiful about it. Like, she has that space to do that, and her community loves it. I love it. Yeah. She makes me crack up every time.
I remember when she first got mentioned, when we were doing creator scouting during a staff meeting, and at first she first got put up on the list. Like, hey, I think Zach was the person that first kind of like hopped into her stream and found her. And then kind of just grew for, and if you weren't Zach, I'm sorry. It was someone else. I know it was probably Zach though, just because he's really good about scouting. I mean, he's got an eye.
He's on top of it too.
100%. And I remember popping in and listening to her stream and everything like that, and I got Sweet Tail vibes, like that, just unapologetic me, loud but not obnoxious, like just huge full personality. And I remember I like instantly I was like, yep. That's 100% our brand. That's what the energy we need for this team, 100%. And we've got such a great creator squad as well.
Oh yeah, we really do. I mean, like, our whole org is pretty awesome, honestly. Like, we got great people. Like, even the staff. Like, we do like staff content creating, and it's funny. Like, we all like get along so well, and like, yeah, like, I mean, like, freaking Angel mentioned it earlier, but yeah, like, I play with him every night. Every night we play together.
She gets to hear me rage in real life, not just for the camera.
It's hilarious. It's so good. It's honestly so good.
I feel like I've played the character long enough that it, like, enraging in those moments, just because it is entertaining, that now it has unfortunately become like habit. and I always feel so bad, like, after the moment. Like, it happens, I rage, and then I realize that I've raged, and I'm like, you child. But I've
been trying to get better with my rages, because I get legitimately angry. Like the stream won't see it, but I'll get up, and when I put my BRB, it's because I'm walking out and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, 100%. Like when streaming on camera, it's great interaction, because it gets so many like laughs, likes, everyone, because they can relate. I feel like everyone loves that, because they know the pain that you're going through. And people like to see other people in pain. Let's just be honest. It's hilarious, as long as they're not actual hurt.
I was like talking about that with some friends of mine, about how, like, I posted that clip that Tricky and I got together, the ace, and it got a little bit of traction. And then I posted a clip of some guy messing with me, trying to bug me, and that one's still getting traction. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, y'all really like to see me suffer, huh?
And it's always your closest friends too. Like, your mods are the first ones, right?
Yeah, for real. Like my best friend, Nai, she's a VTuber, but she's always on it and she'll make jokes and stuff like that. And like even like my oldest viewers, like Dat, who became a mod, and there's this guy, Beastman. He always like, oh, why are you so trash? I'm like, Beast, why do you come in here talking crap instantly? Like it's really rude.
That reminds me of Nap Timer, and I hope he's watching this right now. Nap is probably the worst about doing that.
Oh my
And he'll do that
God.
to me. He'll do that to Maz. Like anybody he's watching this, the first, like you mess up, and he's like, God, you're so ass. Like you suck at this game. You're like, shut up, Nap.
It's like, bro, you, and it gets to me too, because I'm like,
if you weren't a minor, I swear to God. Like 1v1 me, bro.
That's the worst part, is that my oldest viewer recently became 18, so now I'm like, fuck you, bro.
Oh my God.
Like, you're such a little shit.
and like being a creator, like I feel like some of the bigger creators that have let kind of the fame go to their head a little bit, kind of forget about their early start, like their beginnings, right? And forget about the viewers that they started with, like that cornerstone, like first active member in your chat. You're like, you never forget it, right? Like
no, I feel like most wouldn't. Like, I mean, it's funny because like I actually met Banans like 2019 TwitchCon, and she had her first viewers just chilling with her. Like they were just behind her table. Like she had them behind there, just chilling. And I was like, man, like that's the type of content creator I would be. Like all my beginning viewers have been there since day one, who saw me go through college and everything. Every time they come in, I'm like so excited to see them, because I'm like, oh my God, dude, like that Beastman, like all of them, they're just like amazing people. Like Tweaks, like I love those guys. They're like the start of my community, my little family, my little online family.
Exactly. They were there to see you become you. You know,
exactly,
and not necessarily like trying to say like, you know, we've become bigger than, but like with growth, like just over time, growth is natural.
Exactly, and like I'm definitely a way different person when I first
100%.
started this stream. Like, oh my God, like let's say I was like 19. That was 19 when I started it, and I'm 27 now. That's wild. That's crazy.
Have you gone back and watched like old clips from then, and just to kind of see like the audio quality, the the video and everything, and you're just like, oh no.
And I'm just like, oh my God. But then I smile, because I'm like, dude, but like look where I'm at now. Like especially the audio specifically, like you said that, I started thinking about my first headset, like that I thought was cool, and it was terrible. It was a Logitech G something, I can't remember, but it was big, it would almost fall off, and it sounded terrible on the stream, but it was what I had to work with, you know. Like I think the worst one was definitely the Connect video. Oh man, that was definitely worst of the worst.
We might have to put that on social media. We might have to find that.
I'll see if I can find a clip of that, because it's bad.
Oh my goodness. I remember having what did I start out with? It was so it was PlayStation at first, PlayStation 4. And streaming from there, because like I started just because I wanted to record or have moments recorded of like fun times with my friends. That's how it started. Right. Never expected to get viewers, didn't want it, like that wasn't my goal. And then it was just like one or two people trickled in, and it was like, oh well, I might as well get a PC, right, so that I can get better quality, I can see chat better and stuff like that. And then it just grows, and then it just it snowballs. It's crazy. I remember the first time I got the blue snowball microphone. Like I feel like that. I feel like that's everyone's like first upgrade is the blue, whether it's Yeti or Snowball.
Mine was Yeti. Yep. Yeah, I still have it in my closet, and I recently upgraded to the Elgato, and that was because like my dad's always been a huge support of my stream, and he's always been a huge support of just any of that. Part of me is because I think it's because he would have loved to do it, because he's a huge gamer. Like he was part of the whole Quake community when it first came out and everything. So he was like in that. And so like birthdays, Christmas come along. Sometimes he'll ask me like, hey, what do you need for your stream? and I'll just tell him, I'll be like, yo, dude, like I need a new mic. I've been looking at some of them, but I don't know. And usually he goes above and beyond, and he goes, bam, I heard this one's great. There you go, baby girl. I'm like, thanks.
And that's awesome to have like family that supports you, because I know that
my dad loves it.
We've seen it on social media where, you know, teenagers that don't get that support. You've got, you know, the angry parent that comes in and then smashes all their stuff. And it's like, I don't get it. You know, I'm not a parent. I would love to be one, you know, hopefully here in the next 2 years would be nice.
Little Tricky and Angel babies, please.
But like, I feel like your number one thing is to see your child grow and become their own person and be able to become independent and do things that they love to do. Yeah, and I feel like there's such a stigma on like traditional Americana, you know, like you go to college, you get a degree, you do this, or you grow up, you do the trades, and then that's it, right?
Right.
In 2023, there's just so many avenues of like not support. What was the word? I'm like self-sustaining work, like finding your niche and being able to grow.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there are certain markets where it's cutthroat and it's harder to make money that way. But I get trying to have a backup plan in order to fund your dream. But like in the early stages like that, I don't see how people could just do that. Like come in and see like, oh, me destroying this is going to be constructive. Now they'll listen. Like what?
Yeah. Yeah, I think at that point, it's like they kind of work on fear a little bit, maybe. I mean, I'm not a parent either, but like I know like my personal experience, at least, like my dad was always supportive, but my mom, like she never really not hated it, but she just didn't understand it.
Right.
So like for a while, she just didn't get that why people would watch. Like, why are people watching you play video games? And like I always use the example of like, well, why do people watch football? They're not playing the game. They're just watching it. So it's just because of that, or they think I'm funny or whatever. She kind of started taking it a little more seriously when I hit affiliate, and she realized, oh, like you can make money. And I go, that's what you can do. Yeah. And she goes, oh my God, what? Okay. And now like I just told her, hey, I'm going to do a podcast. Like, can you not come in? She's like, yeah, I got you. Like, don't worry. And she won't come in. Sometimes she comes in, but before it used to be like, I'll take off the camera because she wouldn't want to be on camera. Now I've like told her like, hey, you come in, it's your fault. You're gonna be on camera. So now she's accepted it. And I've had viewers be like, oh, is that Toxic's mom?
Mama Toxic.
Is that Mama Toxic?
Yep.
Mama Toxic? I'm like, that's Mama Toxic, but she never wants to be on camera. Like she never says hi. My dad though, he's been put on camera. He's been featured on my stream, like me upgrading my computer or just him saying hi or saying goodbye or whatever. Like he's been on my stream, like full on face. They called him Papa Toxic, but he's like, no, I'm Roach969. That's his gamer tag. He's like, I'm Roach. I'm Roach. So like he wants to put it out there like I'm Roach. Nah, like, but I'm Toxic Demon's dad. So yeah.
Maybe Papa Demon.
That would be so cool. But he just loves he's been Roach since like he was in the Marines, because he was in the Marines in like the 90s and stuff like that. Gotcha. So he's like, nah, I'm Roach.
Yeah. That'll stick with you. Speaking of like gamer tags and stuff like that, what is the origin behind Toxic Demon? Where did that come from?
So I used to use my dad's gamer tag a long time ago, which was Roach. And when my parents unfortunately separated and divorced, my dad was going to take his Xbox, and this is how supportive he's always been with my video gaming, which I don't know if this is healthy or unhealthy, but you know what? I'm doing all right. So maybe it's healthy. He bought another Xbox for our house. So he took his and then he left one there, and he's like, hey, we're going to create a gamer tag for you and your sister. I'm like, okay. So he grabbed our gamer tags. We had two different gamer tags separately, but like they weren't connected online. So this was going to be our online one. And mine was Toxic Alex at the time. And my sister was Little Demon. So he put it together, Toxic Demon, and then he spelled it that way because the original way was taken. Yep. Shocker. But rather than adding the whole XX, Toxic Demon XX, like we used to do back in the day, he decided to make it kind of like, you know, with the numbers and stuff. And since then, I kept it. Like my sister wanted to step away from it, and she did. And I was like, I want to keep it. So I did, and I use it for everything. Like to this point, you Google it, and it's all my content, which is crazy. So yeah.
And how surreal is that, by the way? Like,
dude,
I don't know if anyone else has done that before, but like you just Google like your tag, and like all this stuff pops up, and you're like,
it's all me. it feels good. It feels, especially as someone who, because for those of you who don't know, I work social media like in the IRL world, you know, like when I'm not doing this stuff, I'm working social media at a company called Razorfish. And that to me is like top, like branding, like that's successful social branding. I don't know what else is, like the fact that you Google that and everything you find is my content. That's insane. I feel so that I bring it up on interviews when I get interviewed for jobs. I'm like, hey, like, just so you know, like I know what I'm doing.
and I feel like we've probably skipped over the whole, like, you do that like for your job as well in real life. That's what supports you and gets you through the day, gets you,
yeah, exactly,
you know, adult money and everything like that. How did you get into like social media managing, and you know, getting like your first gig and stuff like that?
So it's so funny because I got my degree in journalism because I wanted to be a video game journalist. My dream was to work for IGN, GameSpot. That was my dream. That's actually why I started streaming, was because I was like, I need to get my name out there. I need to get my voice out there. So I'm just going to stream just to get it out there. And I have a portfolio of like, I know what I'm talking about within the gaming community. And like, I have this voice. And on top of that, I was even publishing. I published stuff on like very small, like video game websites, but I was publishing. So years passed, whatever. I've been doing that literally like for most of my college life. And then my senior, like going to senior year, so my first semester of senior year, I go in and I take a Nintendo copywriting class. And it was just like basically learning how to copyright. And I had so much fun with it. It led to an internship with Nintendo, which was crazy. And then I just kind of like stuck with it. And after that, I ended up working for this other company called Chromatic Games. They're very small, and I helped them with their TwitchCon 2019. And then I got into Red City, and then I started working at a tattoo like manufacturing company to basically help them spread their stuff. And it just kept snowballing from there. I just became social media person, and like it was a copywriter at first, and now I'm a social content analyst. Which is crazy because it's like, it's basically me telling companies, hey, this is how you could successfully market this. Like, this is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do based on what we've seen. Like, because we do research on everything. Like, I'm deep diving into social networks and everything. We tell you, hey, don't do this, whatever. And they either take the advice or take it. At the end of the day, clients are clients, but that's my job. And like me doing it here, like recently getting promoted for like social media managing is like the best. Like, I already like kind of went a little crazy. So, you know?
You've had a great first day, like with the reins. Trust me.
Oh, you have no idea. I even created a calendar. There's so much. There's so much.
Like you immediately made fun of Zach, and I'm like, I'm down. No matter what happens moving forward, I'm down. I liked it I liked it so immediately too.
I love that Ash instant was like Zach replying to Zach, like, it's not him.
It's not, wait. And then me and my give him just like,
it's not who you think it is.
Because I knew, and I love being on the inside sometimes and seeing that. So.
Yeah, because right now, technically, it's not out yet that I am the new social media manager. But by the time this episode comes out, it'll probably already be announced.
Ooh, I'm glad. Ooh. We broke the news anyway. Now I'm gonna get yelled at.
Nah, it's fine.
Now you're gonna see Zach and I in the like just only business channel, and you're gonna be like, yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. Rachel posted something about it. She was like, "Oh, the new social manager, like, kind of starting wars." And I wanted to use my own Twitter handle, but like, she seems pretty cool to me. I don't know.
Then it would have come full circle. You responding to yourself pretty much.
I'm like, yes, I do, because you got to be your own #1 fan.
100%. This is very fitting with it being Pride Month. If you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love anybody else?
Exactly. Even if you don't want, yeah, this goes with content creating too, guys. You gotta love yourself so everyone else can love you.
Exactly. And if you don't get that reference or quote, do some research.
For real.
Oh man, we got a couple minutes left here. It's insane. It's been 54 minutes, by the way.
It's flying,
right? So we already went over your Twitch. We already plugged that. Are there any other forms of social media out there where people, do you have like a YouTube, TikTok, or anything like that?
TikTok is the best place to look for my crazy dummy clips. On YouTube, I also post shorts, but TikTok is way more active. So TikTok at Toxic Demon, just slide on in there and just have yourself a laugh because it's just mostly me being really stupid.
Are there any projects coming up that you're looking forward to, or is just kind of just streaming and
Right now, like actually like so Halloween, like I'm a huge horror person and like I'm planning to do a whole overlay change and I want to do like some like specific one costume like over like the course of the Halloween week. So like just stay tuned on that. It's gonna be Chucky themed, really. So yeah. Yeah, I love Chucky. I have a problem. So yeah, I was thinking of doing that.
which one was your first? Was it like the original Chucky, or was it like Chucky's Bride or Bride of Chucky? Yeah.
So I got into Chucky actually like last year, late last year. I had never seen a Chucky movie, and my boyfriend actually got me into it because he's like, oh, he's my favorite slasher. I was like, I've never seen it. Like, I never understood the fear. It's a doll. Just kick it, you know? And then I watched all of them, and I actually after the first one, I bought the Blu-ray set because we had to pay to watch the rest, and I was like, nah, I'm buying the whole thing because it's that good. And then I just watched them all. I watched the show because they have a show now too. And they're going to be coming to Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, which I'm dummy excited for. So yeah, like I love just, so it's been all of them. Like I've seen all of them, but the first one was, I watched it in order.
Gotcha. I'm Chucky.
Yeah.
Wanna play?
Yeah.
The first my initial exposure was Bride of Chucky.
It's a good one.
Yeah, with
Jennifer Tilly.
Yep. With Jay Till, yep, who by the way, phenomenal poker player, by the way. I don't know.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, see, so when I was deployed, I actually fell in love with poker and started watching like nonstop World Series of poker, and she's actually a prominent celebrity
Really?
that's actually really good at poker too. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. A little unknown fact of the world there. But yeah, so I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. We'll start doing some closing things. So thank you for coming on to the podcast. It is always a pleasure to have guests on here, especially when they make it so easy to talk for an hour.
Thank you for having me. It was a good time as always.
Oh yeah,
I always have a good time talking to you.
I imagine I'm probably gonna start repeating episodes here soon, as far as like doing repeat guests, and stuff like that. Like, there's still other people I want to bring on for first time visits, but now that it's been like almost a year that I've been doing the podcast, I kind of want to like catch back up with people, kind of see where their lives have been. I think the next time we can catch you is obviously will be tonight streaming, but like your normal schedule. But are you doing charity weekend, by the way?
I don't know yet. I think tomorrow we're gonna figure that out because like we still have to fill those slots. I was actually looking at that today if I was filling everything out. So yeah, if we do miss or we do need a spot, I of course would be happy to fill out, you know. So yeah, but yeah, for right now, no, I don't know yet.
Gotcha. And for those of you that are watching this, we are doing a charity weekend stream for the Trevor Project, I believe
Trevor
is this
Project.
one. Yep, for Trevor
Yes.
Project. That'll be on June the 16th. That'll be the start. Wait, hold on. No, it starts that Friday, I believe, right?
I'll
Which
tell
is
you
the
right now
16th,
because I have
yep.
the calendar. Yep, the 16th through the 18th. So
Right.
that weekend, guys, just come on over and support the charity. It'll be awesome.
And that'll be on the Valkyrie Twitch channel. So head on over to twitch.tv/Valkyrie LLC. Go ahead and drop a follow while you're there, and just turn on your notifications so that you can be a part of the action, and maybe donate if you can. If you can't, that's totally fine. Just you being there, hanging out with us is totally enough, as well as spreading the word. But Alex, that will do it for us. Have a good rest of your night. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another episode, whether it's out in YouTube or Spotify, no matter where you're listening. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. Make sure you head on over to ValkyrieLLC.com. .org. I apologize. So that you can check out the website. We have some crazy things there as far as our teams, our content creators, the org itself, as well as links to the merch. Head on over to gamersubs.gg as well. Use code Valkyrie in either shop to get 10% off your entire order. Did you have any parting words that you would like to leave to the community?
Don't do drugs. And
It's a solid one.
Don't forget to check out also our Twitter. It's gonna be a lot crazy active, and we'll also have updates on the charity and everything. So yeah, keep an eye out there too.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good rest of your day. morning, afternoon, evening, no matter where you are in the world listening to this. Thank you again. This has been Angel of Battle for the Valkyrie podcast, and we will see each and every single one of you in the next one. Have a good one.
Adios.